Team Harris. So this is an interesting video where Kamala Harris's team, they're explaining why they turned down certain interviews like Joe Rogan's and their opinion on their strategy with the election. So let's take a listen to that, and then we'll wrap it up with some quick little Instagram videos, and then I'll let y'all go. All right, so here we are.
I am not media hater by any measure, and I think that, we women don't get far in life talking about double standards, so that's not the point. But I do think a narrative, 107 days, 2 weeks up because of a hurricane, 2 weeks talking about how she didn't do interviews, which, she was doing plenty, but we were doing in our own way. We had to, be the nominee, had to find a running mate and do a rollout. I mean, there was all these things that you kind of want to factor in, but real people heard in some way that we were not going to have interviews, which was both not true and also so counter to any kind of standard that was put on Trump that I think that was a problem. And then on top of that, we would
see, this is the problem. This is why they should have had your boy on there, man. They should have hit me up. I would have gave him better strategies. She's talking about the situation, the hurricane, as if it was 2 weeks where, that's just 2 weeks where we couldn't do anything. We couldn't do. That's a softball being thrown at you. All you have to do is respond to the hurricane. Literally, you could have done the same thing that Trump did. Go down there and help people out. Show face. Show that you care. Show up. Showing up is half the battle, right? So they look at the Hurricane Helene situation as something like, oh my God, it's a bad thing. Meanwhile, looking at it from a strategic standpoint, why not take advantage of the situation? And I don't mean take advantage of the situation as far as, I guess it would be something disingenuous, because if they really cared about it, they would have been down there. But why not do your job as vice president, show up, and then just use your actions to highlight the type of candidate you are, the things that matter to you, how you can incorporate more joy into these people that just had their lives torn apart in a lot of ways. Why not do that? But their mindset is making excuses, acting as if, that was 2 weeks. We didn't have enough time for this. We didn't have enough time for that. Look, you lost, but you don't have to make up all these excuses. You knew getting into the race that you would have a shorter time that you'd be able to run. You knew who you were running against. Making all these excuses now just makes you look weak. And I don't know if she has plans. Apparently she does have plans of running in 2028. But these type of this feedback is not good, in my opinion. But let's keep going.
Do an interview. And to Stephanie's point, the questions were small and processy and about
dumb.
They were not informed.
So now they're saying that the interviews that she would have been doing on podcasts were dumb questions. First and foremost, ma'am, are you forgetting the fact that y'all gave people scripts, that people already came out and said that you guys provided them scripts? The same thing that y'all did with Biden. Y'all provided the people scripts. You told them certain things that they couldn't ask about and certain things to ask about. Are y'all forgetting that? You're complaining about the questions not being in depth. Are you forgetting what happened on your Fox interview with Bret Baier when Bret Baier had to pretty much, you showed up late and then they only had a certain amount of time that they could film because they had to put the show out? Maybe that's why the questions couldn't be as elaborate. And maybe it's just because she took a lot of time with all the word salads. I don't know. But this using it as an excuse, it just makes everybody look weak. We all take losses. You lost. It is what it is. Look why you should look into the things that you should be your biggest critic. That's pretty much what I'm saying. The people that I see that are very successful in life, when they lose, they are their biggest critics. And that's how they're able to fix certain things and rebound for the next time.
Forming a voter who was trying to listen, to learn more, or to understand. And I'm not here to say that the whole system was focused on us incorrectly. I'm just saying, again, of the things we need to explore as we move forward as a campaign and as a country, that does a disservice to voters. And, I think back and think we should have signaled more of our strategy early on about
Yeah, this is not a very, I don't know how to say it. This is not a very masculine way of looking at things. I'm just being totally honest. I'm seeing a lot of blame, a lot of deflecting. Maybe it's not a woman-y way of looking at things, but as far as like the reason why I say not a masculine aspect, I believe men to be more logical in certain situations. And there's things that men and women are both gifted with. There's certain advantages that men have in certain situations. There's certain advantages that women have in certain situations. But when it comes to this type of thing, in my opinion, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but when you have a game, let's say you play your high school basketball game or football game, your mom, I don't think that your mom probably ever saw you play a bad game. Your mom probably never saw a reason why you were on the bench. Your mom probably never saw a reason that you should come out the game unless you're tired and they need to give my baby a break. Your dad, those questions are going to be a little bit different. Yo, you got to work on this. You got to work on it. You got to look. So this is why I'm saying that. That may be a different experience for other individuals. To each their own. I understand that. But to me, there's just a huge, and this is not just with this interview. To me, there was a huge, just a missing masculinity within this Democratic Party. And it showed when Biden's talking about he's prioritizing the LGBTQ community. It shows on CNN, on MSNBC, when they bring the Van Jones type of characters, and they seem to bring a lot of feminized or emasculated men up there. Like they don't necessarily bring the strong black men when it comes to black men, I'm talking about specifically. And that's just missing. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just something that I'm noticing because I'm looking for it. And I totally understand that. It's like when you get a car, you see more of them on the road. So maybe that's what I'm doing. But I see a lot of blame game. I see a lot of blame game since they lost, rather than just people just saying like, yo, there's things that we need to do better and we will do better. Nobody wants to hear you talk about, oh, it was the podcasters and the questions that they're asking and all this other stuff. But let's keep going.
Podcast and who we were trying to reach. But we had a limited amount of time to reach the people we were trying to reach, and we were trying to go to them. But being up against a narrative that we weren't doing anything or we were afraid to have interviews is completely bullshit. And also like took hold a little bit, and it just gave us another thing we had to fight back for that Trump never had to worry about.
Oh man.
Wow. Let's be clear. Kamala Harris got the same kind of questions, the exact same kind of questions about her record, her positions, and what she would do if she became president. Same deal as any previous candidate. So
I'm gonna leave that there. Your thoughts. You guys tell me your thoughts on it. And I don't know. I just think that there needs to always be looking internally. What are the things that I could do better? What are the things that I could do better rather than, and even if some of the things that she's mentioning, or if there is blame, or if there was a certain level of things being unfair, even if that's the case, it just makes you look weak when you highlight them. Let somebody else outside of your campaign talk about it. Like you can't, it just makes it look weak. It makes it look weak, and it makes it look like excuses. So we weren't going to do that. I didn't want to go long today because I want y'all to go out, be able to, have a couple drinks, enjoy some life with your friends and family. It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.